The Coaches Show is brought to you by Highway 55, Burgers, Shakes, and Fries. The Professional Fence Company. Our name says it all. No job too big or too small. Nunboys.com. And GPS Photography and Video, GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Glenn Young alongside head coach Tom Paris.
Not Hal Nunn,
obviously. Hal's feeling a little bit under the weather. Hopefully he'll be able to make the What's Happening Hope show tomorrow, so I'll check in on him later.
I won't be available if he can't.
Okay. I'll probably grab Earl Richardson down at the Rock of Hope. But hopefully he's feeling better, so shout out to you, Hal. Coach, when you look at the rankings, and this came out in the Rockingham paper, Richmond, they feel like Richmond County got snubbed. They're not ranked in the top 10. Mallard Creek, number 1. Wake Forest. Scotland County's number 3 at 6-0. I said Scotland County's number 3 at 6-0. Oh, okay, there they are. They're still here. Scotland County testing. Charlotte Catholic, East Forsyth, Middle Creek, Dudley's 5-1, ranked at number 9, which Richmond beat. Butler, who was number 1, they beat Richmond. They dropped 6 spots to number 10. Pinecrest, they're up 2 spots. They're ranked at number 6. And then Wake Forest and then Jack Britt. When you look at that schedule, Coach, what are your thoughts that jump out at you? I mean, it's a ranking.
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion.
And, everybody's going to vote for their local, especially if it's media folks voting. They're going to vote for their local teams. And, in my book, Richmond is, they're the best team in the state right now. And they're next on our schedule.
And we're gonna see them on Friday night. And it's going to play itself out. But when I look out there and I see Pinecrest ranked number 6, and I'm on record as saying strength of schedule. If you look at our schedule, you look at Pinecrest's first 6 games. I mean, your thoughts, Coach? I know what mine are.
I know 6-0 is a lot better than 0-6.
It is.
And whether it's a scheduling piece, whether it's just playing well, being 6. I mean, I just about give my right arm to be 6-0 right now, but it is. The teams that they've played, do I think they're as tough as the teams that we've played? Absolutely not. I don't know a lot about, Woodbury Forest that they played.
I saw that.
I do know that
Overhills they played.
I do know that they've had some good games, and part of that is part of winning is experiencing it and learning how to do it. I think regardless of the level of your competition, you build confidence in winning. And I can't say that if I had the opportunity to put together a schedule like that I wouldn't do the same thing. I can't say that I would. I think you're only as good as the competition that you play, and it's always been my goal, and it'll continue to be my goal to try and put the best competition in front of us on a year-to-year basis in our non-conference schedule that will prepare us for our conference.
And of course, we're rolling into the Ask the Coach segment, and that goes right to it, Coach. Pinecrest, Polk County. Strength of schedule, is that a plus or minus for us?
I think it's a plus, but it depends on your perspective and your point of view. Some folks will tell you that, winning and experiencing that is more important than being able to win and play well against, great competition.
Right.
It's a matter of opinion.
It could give your kids a false confidence.
It could. And
case in point, Wilmington Ashley last year, we beat them. They don't win another game the rest of the season, and that was one of our 4 wins.
Well, and then we turn around and lose to Sun Valley, which was a team that we should have beaten.
Yeah.
And but we didn't play well. We went into that game with riding a little bit high, probably riding a little bit too high.
Right.
And I cautioned our players and warned them going going into it. I think stiff competition makes the reality of your situation much more apparent. Some folks don't see it that way. Perhaps we've got some fans that don't see it that way, but that's how I see it, and that's how we're going to go about it.
Well, the biggest thing, we play a lot of ranked teams. Played Jack Britt. And as you see, Scotland County and Pinecrest, there's 2 more that we're going to play that are ranked high in the state.
Well, and Richmond will be ranked,
no question.
Probably before it will.
They're probably in the top 15.
Maybe Richmond.
But we're talking. This is what they hit as the top team.
If
they lose, hey,
if we win this week,
they won't be ranked.
That makes it harder for them to be ranked. I think. Charlotte Catholic's a great team. Mallard Creek is an all-star team. Wake Forest, they're good at what they do.
They're restructuring of schools since they hit Charlotte Independence to break up. And basically, kids in Charlotte can pretty much go to any school that they want in the area.
I'm not sure how that deal works, but I do know that they draw from a much broader range than anybody else is able to. So,
and as far as kids in Hope County, they got to live in the county. Where Cumberland County may have a little bit of leeway, but everything is zoned.
If they don't, they got to be released, from wherever they are. And then, of course, there's the transfer rule that High School Athletic Association has, and it's a lot of stuff. I mean, but that's the beauty of high school football. It's supposed to be, you go to war with the kids that the good Lord puts in your area and brings to you, and that's what we're going to do.
How are the kids?
Surprisingly well. I was a little frustrated yesterday by our practice demeanor, and which brought about what I spoke of earlier. Earning what you desire, and making sure that everybody understands, what you deserve is the end product, no matter how it turns out. But I stepped up and challenged all of them, got their attention early today, and we really had a great practice. It was fun, and I pointed it out to them at the end, how quickly the time flew, and everybody realized it was over before, and we finished with about 9 minutes still left on the practice clock. So we had a great flow, we had great pace, we got done what we needed to do. We've had a good week. We've had a good week, and hopefully that'll translate into the week ending well.
Injuries, how are we looking?
Well,
bye week did as well?
Yeah, it did. Brandon Smith's looking much, much better. None other, Martez Riggins is still out. Trey's still out. And they're going to be out.
Mikael Locklear. He was going through concussion protocol.
Yeah, and he's good. He's back.
Cleared? Okay.
His RTP protocols are all done.
Good.
He had a good practice today. So we're healthy. We just got to stay healthy, and we got to play well.
Well, I'm sure we will, Coach. Last question, Ask the Coach segment. The conference. Do you think it will be, actually 2 questions. First one is with the conference. Would it be better if more teams were in our conference other than just 5? I think Fayetteville Conference may have as many as 6. Is that a plus or minus?
Well, there are 6 of us, but we only have 5 opponents. I don't know.
With the addition of additional school or another school.
The problem that we have, especially Richmond, Scotland, and Pinecrest, I think, are having is scheduling non-conference opponents. I know one thing that I had talked about and kicked around as an idea, I had proposed, like if you remember the old Mid-Southeastern Conference, I don't see why, historically, I think the best football has always been played in this area, in the Southeastern and the Mid-South Conference areas. I think it's conceivable the formation of a Super League similar to the SEC, where, and I think in our league you'd have to have a North and a South division, but then it would make it easy to schedule non-conference opponents because you could cross-division schedule.
Right.
And it would limit travel.
Yes.
You know, and with the 3A schools in Cumberland County, I'd like to see us maybe consider doing something like that, and then perhaps, I mean, there's several different ways you could do it to really make it a big deal. You know, we can't play but 11 games a year, but you know, one idea that I had was, you know, save your open date, or you know, everybody has their open date, but then you save the last week of the season for a true league championship, and you pit the ones versus the ones in the north and the south, the twos versus the twos, so forth and so on. And
would that hurt going into playoffs though? I mean, you'd have to play them anyway, but now you're going against the beast against the beast.
But that's as close to a playoff deal. I mean, it could, and you know, with that in mind.
Not that you would want to play anybody weak. I mean, you got to play whoever you play. But if you pit one against one and say they're ranked 1 and 2 in the state or 1 and 5 in the state, is that a plus or a minus?
Again, I guess it depends on your perspective. You know, if you're going into the playoffs and you got 1 and 2 in the state going against each other the last week of the regular season, you know, does it dilute the rivalry games? You know, I know Richmond and Scotland play at the end of the season, and Lumberton and Parnell Swift play at the end of the season, and we play Pinecrest at the end of the season. You know, an argument can be made for both. I don't know, Glenn. There's a lot of things to be considered, but you know, from a scheduling perspective, I could see a situation like that making it easier for us to schedule non-conference opponents.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we're going to take a break, Coach. Last question is on hitting. Should we have hit more or should we have hit less?
We should always hit more.
Hold on to that thought. We'll be right back.